Hey everybody, welcome back to the JD Show. I'm your host, James. I have a very interesting guest for you guys tonight. Without any further ado, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Tatiana. I came here from Eastern Europe, Russia. And yeah, I'm making content and I'm here happy to be doing podcast. And yeah, I just don't know how is it going to go, but let's see.
Yeah, let's roll with it. So how long have you been in the U.S. for?
For 4.5 years in total.
4.5 years, okay. So are you a citizen yet?
I'm
Working
a
on it?
resident. I'm a
Resident?
permanent
Okay.
resident.
Green card, cool. So you're
Yeah,
pretty close along the way.
almost there.
Almost there. There you go. Well, congratulations when you
Thank
do.
you.
That's a nice passport to have. A lot of people
Oh,
from
yeah.
all around the world come here.
Oh, yeah, the blue one, the best.
Yeah, exactly. So for your work, obviously you're a social media influencer. You have quite a large following online. What exactly is it that you do online?
So I make comedy content. I compare Eastern European culture to American culture, and I just making funny skits and all about the culture, food, relationships, stuff like that.
Okay, and what got you started into doing that?
Oh, it was like almost 4 years ago. We just made a funny video about like how Americans getting robbed, and then we compared to how Eastern Europeans getting robbed, and it was just a funny video that got viral. And then I was like, why wouldn't I do it? And I started doing it, and to be honest, it just was like going viral every single time I would post it, and I was like, oh, probably it's my niche.
Interesting. So what are the differences between people getting robbed over there versus here?
So yeah, we made a video of like I was the robber, and like I break into the house and they are being scared and girls were screaming, and then the Eastern European way was like I was the same robber, break into the house and they were drinking and they said, oh, you're late, here the shot for you. And then we started drinking vodka and I forgot how to rob the houses. I was just getting drunk and singing Russian music.
Okay,
That was
interesting.
this kid.
Got it, got it. So how does that tie in with the culture over in Russia?
It's like in that particular video, it was about the drinking part and partying. Like we don't take that serious. If you even like have guns in your hands, just like welcome in, let's get drunk and like let's party. Forget about your bad life. Let's just roll.
Interesting. Okay, I like it. And then you it told me offline that you believe in a lot of traditional style relationship values.
That is
You
very
are
true.
currently married, correct?
Yeah, I am married. I've been married for 2 years now. I have a kid, a boy, and I'm trying to raise him the way I believe the right way, which is traditional. And yeah, we take parts with my husband. So I'm doing my women's stuff and he does his men's job.
Okay. And what are some of these traditional values that you try to align with?
I make the house. I am, like we have in Russian, we have a saying that a man has to leave the house with empty balls but full stomach. That's like
Yeah.
one of the things.
There's a different way of saying it here, but
How would
I
you
get the
say that?
concept. I can't remember off the top of my head. A number of girls have told me this, but
Yeah, yeah. So I think the part when it comes to make the house cozy, I clean the house, take care of the baby. I organize all the stuff for my husband to be successful, which means he does all the job to be successful, but I'm trying to create the environment for it. So,
so you're trying to help your husband be more successful.
I think he's already successful because he met me. But yeah, I want him to grow as much as he can. I want him to be president. I believe that. And I think he needs a lot of rest, which is my responsibility to make it at home. When he wants to come, he rests, and then he is ready to go out there and fight the world for his success.
Right. So you're making essentially your home for your husband, his place of peace and comfort where he can go turn off
Yeah.
his brain, kick back, relax,
Yeah.
and thus making him be able to succeed more with what he does in
Yeah, it's
life.
also about like also being clean. It's the clothes, it just has to be ironed. It's about like the clothes should smell good, like it's clean. It's not like laying on the floor like most people are used to, like have their clothes on the floor. No, it's all folded. It's all organized at home. He just wakes up in the morning, takes his like drinks his coffee, takes his clothes, puts it on. Okay, his mindset is set up. He can think about what he should do for the rest of the day. He leaves the house. I do the other job. I do my hobbies, and that's it. It's also about the energy as well. Um, I believe that women have an energy for men that men can feel, and they can fill themselves with this energy and go and like do their job. For me, I need to get the source for that energy. So I'm not just only making home and stuff like that. I would be going crazy and I would be a very aggressive and angry woman. No, I have my hobbies. I do a lot of things for myself. It's also like to get my nails done, to get my hair done, to look pretty, to love myself. Then I'm full of love. And that's when I am ready to share it with my husband. So, yeah, that's like, it's the whole system.
Okay. And you're also making your own money too with social media, right?
My money is my money. My husband's money is our money. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you then, does he want you to have your own separate money? Is that why?
Yeah. Yeah, but he likes me to be like more housewife, and I don't think we never discussed that, but I just know him. I think that if I would be like wanting to work really hard and like abandon all the house stuff, I don't think he would be agree with that. He wouldn't say anything, but he wouldn't feel comfortable with it.
Right. He prefers you keeping up with the house,
Yeah,
but he supports you doing with what you
he
do on social
provides, he does
media.
everything. Like, I don't have a need to work. I'm not starving. Like, if I need to get my beauty procedures, I can ask him for the money and he gives to me. Or like, it used to be like that. Now I have the cards. So I don't have to ask him anymore. I don't need the need. So yeah, it's just been like that since the day one.
So what does making your own money do for you then? Since it sounds like your husband's more than inclined to pay for nails, like your hobbies, your outings.
Yeah, it's just like for my own things. Like I have my family living in Russia, and I love to buy them a lot of gifts. Like for example, my parents, my mom, she never had anything like a designer purse. This is expensive. I don't think my husband should pay for my family. He buys them gifts, but sometimes I'm not feeling comfortable to, like to be too much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's respectful
Yeah,
too.
this is my own family, and I am their child. I'm not their parents to buy them things. I don't want to mix these roles, but they don't have an opportunity to do that in Russia. So yeah, I prefer to get them something to ship it, and it's expensive actually. And now with the sanctions and stuff like that, it's super expensive. So I don't want him to even like to be involved in that. This is my own things, like I want to do. Or sometimes, yeah, I just want to have my own things. I want to grow, I want to develop, and I want to feel like I'm not one of those boring people that don't even know what to do in their lives, just staying home and between like four walls. No, I want to make money and feel good for myself.
Right. And let me ask you this. So let's say there was a hypothetical scenario where your husband's business or work, whatever he is doing, slows down and he's not making the same money anymore. He, hypothetically, of course, comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm going to need your help for the next couple months. I'm at a down low. Like, I'm going to, figure out how to make that same money again. But right now, I can't pay the bills unless you come in 50-50 with me."
Yeah.
What would you say?
This is fine by me. I think it's fair. I'm part of the family. We should help each other. But I really have such a strong belief that when you start helping men, means you don't believe in him. I would rather not to feel sorry for him for the situation. I would rather to let him do everything possible not to fail the family. And if there is really, really crucial situation, yeah, I'll be helping with money. It's not a problem. I'm not greedy. Like, I'm fine with paying, but I expect him to be still the hero, and I'm not letting him down Like,
Right, of course. So he's not, in this hypothetical scenario, right? He's not saying, hey, this is how it's going to be for the rest of our lives, like 50-50. It's just, we're at a low, like, it could be maybe even like 6 months to a year, like, just needs your
not,
help.
yeah, not a problem. Life is long, and 1 year, 5 years doesn't really matter. I will still have my beliefs. If there is anything I can do to help, I will. But as I said, I it should be the way where he doesn't feel, or I don't make it look like I'm stronger than him, because I don't want to be stronger than like any man. I want to be like, I want to be like, seriously, I don't want to take man's job. I don't want to be responsible. My responsibility is like to take care of the baby. Am I failing? No. And if like there are problems, yeah, let's fix it together. But you still do more because you're a man. You're physically stronger. Men are like, yeah, it's just like the president cannot say things like that, and a woman cannot say like president's wife cannot be a president and replace him in his job. That's my belief. Things get worse, things get bad, really, and it's his responsibility to fix that, not the
Right. No, I agree with that. Absolutely. I do understand, though, that there are times in life where things can happen. Like I've seen it personally where, a friend of mine, he's very successful. I think he was making like, over $60,000 a month, millionaire status. But his company ended up getting bankrupt and he had to liquidate a lot of his assets, and he basically started from close to zero. And he told his wife, like, hey, honey, business is gone. I'm not sure what we're going to do financially. They had like a $12,000 a month mortgage, right? And he's saying, I might need a little bit more of your help. She ended up leaving him after like 2 months.
I would not leave. I would not leave. Do they have kids?
Yes, they had kids.
Ah, that's crazy. Even worse. No, I would not.
Now, she decided to take the kids, leave, and then go collect child support. Like just a couple of months after him saying, hey, business went to crap,
I mean,
need
if
your
he
help.
made it once, he is going to make it twice. Like, he already was billionaire. What does make her think he is not going to do it the same way?
Well, that's the ironic thing is like, a little over a year later, the whole divorce thing really set him back even more.
Yeah.
So it took him longer to recover, but just slightly over a year later, he recovered and built a brand new business and was making millions of dollars again. And then next thing you know, he's dating like the hot 22-year-old model, and
Even
his ex-wife is all bitter.
Better for him in that case, and it's good that it happened this way because now he knows who she is and he learned his lesson. But really bad for the next woman because he got to have trust issues now, and for the other woman it's going to be really difficult to get him trust women again.
Right. Yeah, I have definitely seen, at least in America, when it comes to marriage in particular, women are very quick to walk away.
Yeah, doesn't work this way in Eastern Europe. We don't get divorced like that. For us, actually, it's like in Eastern Europe, people are a little bit too judgmental. If you just like get divorced like this and you leave your kids, and it's just like going to be a lot of people pointing fingers at you and saying you failed.
So there's a societal pressure in Eastern Europe.
But we have beliefs, we have traditions, and for us it's a right way to go through, we say through water, through fire. We go through everything, but we still family. Like we don't break it that easy because it's easy to break, it's hard to build. And like if you break it that easy, you don't like it, you're not going to be that respected. But if you build it, then you get all the respect because you're doing a harder job. Yeah, I think she made a mistake.
Oh, she definitely did make a mistake. Yeah. We always talk about it. It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not uncommon here. Like it's happened to me. I've been in relationships where in the beginning, it was really great. Like, I was making a lot of money. Business was booming. I'm paying for all these expensive dinners, vacations, outings. And then it got to a point where I found myself in that type of situation. I'm like, hey, my business is not doing too well right now. So I had a low point, and, I was still making really good money, which was the ironic part is like, I maybe took an 80% dump for what I was taking home every month, but still is well over $15,000 a
Yeah.
month. And that was just a short period of time. But even still, she like started building resentment
Yeah.
because of that. And I ended up having to break things off with her eventually. But
Yeah.
quickly right after, I got back on track.
Yeah. Were you providing for her or like giving her money for things?
Well, she made her own money too.
Mm.
So she was actually heavily involved in one of my
Oh,
businesses.
okay.
So she made good money from that. Able to, buy her family gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do her own shopping, whatever. But yeah, pretty much everything else I paid for, like all groceries, you know, any type of going out,
Oh,
vacations.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so she's well taken care of.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, that's like, I mean, in that situation, seriously, like for a woman, I think that's why I'm working. Something happens, I just like taking that responsibility for my own nails on me, and I
Hmm.
can pay for that. That is gonna be like easier for him to focus on his things because I will still be needing it. Like as a woman, seriously, you want me to be pretty? Like I'm trying to be pretty, but it's expensive to be pretty, to be honest. And yeah, I'll just take care of this part, and it's gonna ease things for him for like not wasting too much money.
Hmm.
I think I would do something like that maybe. About like coming back to the topic with the billionaire wife, I was just thinking quite like while she was married to him, he was probably getting her expensive gifts like bracelets, necklaces, and stuff like that. Why
Hmm.
wouldn't you just sell it? Because he's gonna return it to you back, like buy new ones after. Yeah, that's bad. I think women get rich in America because of divorce.
Yes, they do. So it's there's this interesting stat. It was like 52%, I think it is, of homeowners in the U.S. are women, but the majority of those female homeowners acquired their home in a divorce.
Yeah. Well, thank you for Russian government or the judge system. We don't get anything after divorce. So women in Russia, we don't even have that in our mind that we can get anything.
So there's no governmental incentive in Russia.
No, you can try to do that, but
Most of the time it
usually
doesn't happen. Yeah,
no.
see, it's the opposite here. Like women are heavily incentivized to leave their husbands. I think that's a great reason why the divorce rate is so high here, is because women have
Easy.
everything to gain from a divorce, and it's easy.
Probably the government is helping you guys to get divorced. In Russia, they won't help you to get divorced that easy.
Hmm.
You will go through a hell and a headache. And honestly, like I wouldn't want to do that. So like, and for to get what? Nothing.
Right. Yeah. See, women will drag their ex-husbands through the legal system here for years.
For years.
I've been married here too, and I've had my ex-wife drag me through the legal system for years. Still to this day, trying to get money off of me,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah. And that's not uncommon here. It's like American culture practically. And you don't see very many healthy, thriving relationships.
Yeah. Then like, so does it mean like women here in America are materialistic?
Oh, yeah,
And I
women
think
here are
we
very
got that
materialistic.
stereotype about us. I think they call us gold diggers.
Yeah,
I
no,
think it's a little bit unfair.
there is a big problem with gold digging women out there, and
Yeah.
I'm able to filter them out. Like, obviously, I know a lot of women. I work
Yeah.
with beautiful models. I date a lot of models, and I see all the nines and tens, top tier women out there, and you could tell which ones are in it for the fun, the money, and who are actually with whoever they're with for them.
Yeah.
I'd say like over 90% of the time, the women are with the man who they are with for the lifestyle and for the benefits,
Yeah.
but don't actually care about the man.
Yeah, we do both.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
As you should.
Can I ask a question? Hypothetically, right, as we started. So you have two different women, two different like cultures. The one is the Slavic girl that also wants you to provide for everything. She wants you to do expensive gifts, get her money for nails and stuff like that, all traditional way, but she comforts your life. She is pretty, she is loyal as well, and she's gonna make home, and you know that she's gonna be a good mother or for your future kids. And the other one that does the same thing, like wants the same things from you, but there is a question here in the States about the loyalty, right? Like,
So loyalty, are you talking about
women
specifically
cheat.
for women cheating? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I have a very controversial belief.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that a woman cannot truly respect or love the man that she's with if she even has the thought of desiring another man.
Yeah.
Where I believe it's the opposite for men, where our brains work differently. When it comes to sex for men, we release a completely different chemical response in the brain.
But the hurt would be the same for both parties.
The hurt may be the same, but for a man, I know that it is possible to fully love and be committed to one woman,
Yeah.
but then still be able to have meaningless sex with somebody else. Women can't do that. So for me, if a woman is going to cheat, that is the number one thing that is going to make me say no and put my foot down. Even if it's replying to a DM on Instagram, like, I'll leave.
So you probably haven't met the right one that you would probably commit for the rest of your life, like at least in the moment when you're with her. Because like when it comes to my husband, I'm pretty much sure there is no even a thought. Like not at all. And also as well for me, I don't care about other men, to be honest. I just want him. I love him. That's it. And my question previous, I wanted to ask, like, which one would you go for? Like, the one that wants a high maintenance, right? But you're getting all the traditional stuff back, or the other one that wants a little bit less, but is still going to pay for some things. But you are questioning the loyalty and I don't know.
Oh, I'll take the high maintenance all day, every day. I have no problem with high maintenance as long as she is respectful, humble. She's not, selling her boobs on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She's doing everything that she can to show me respect,
Yeah.
as well as respecting herself. Whereas the other option, like, she is entertaining other men, that's not only showing me a great disrespect, but that is her disrespecting herself too.
That's very true, because you disrespect your own choice. And it also comes to men as well. I think the man, like, you chose this person next to you. Why would you like just go and see the others if like, okay, you chose this already? You're not sure about your choice, or like it's not enough?
It's not that. And women have a very hard time understanding the male perspective when it comes to sex, right? Like for men, we don't care about sex deeply and emotionally like a woman does. Like a man has a one night stand, he does not think anything of it. A woman has a one-night stand. No matter how hard she tries to think nothing of it, there's still going to be a piece of her that she gave away. And she's going to feel that, right? It's not the same for men.
Yeah.
So when men get into a relationship with a woman, right? Like, it is more designed in our DNA for us to still, like, notice and desire other things because our brains are programmed differently.
Yeah.
A woman's not going to feel the same.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking about like women cheat in a few situations. If they want to take revenge, if they are deeply hurt, or they don't get satisfied in like sexually, right? So have you ever considered, like not you, but like generally, that like the culture maybe here of cheating took women to the point when they are tired of being cheated on, and they're like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be cheating on you. I'm going to make you be in pain as much as you made me be in pain and stuff like that. Do you think that, like...
See, I've been in that situation with my first marriage. So I could, tell you in depth my opinions on females that like to revenge cheat.
Yeah.
Females who do revenge cheating deeply don't respect themselves and the man that they're with. Otherwise, like, a man can cheat, right? And, a woman finds out, she's devastated, in pain. But if she really respected and valued herself, she wouldn't revenge cheat. If she couldn't handle it and wanted to leave, she would simply walk out the door and leave it with peace, right? A woman who doesn't value herself is going to go do those extremely toxic things like revenge cheating.
That's also about education, manners, and intelligence. Yeah, like me personally, I wouldn't say a word. I would just left it. That's it. and there is no hello anymore. There is no what you doing, how are you, I miss you. There is nothing like that. I would just have left it and that's it. But yeah, I agree with you on that, because like women should be ladies, and ladies do not cheat and do not sleep with random men just like to take a revenge.
Right, exactly. See, in my opinion, that makes you extremely trashy,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's not respectable whatsoever.
That's very
And
true.
I know like society kind of pushes this idea of, open sexuality, especially with women. It's like, women, go have sex with whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Body
Yeah, that's
count
bad.
doesn't matter. But no, in reality, it
No, it does
does. And
matter.
everybody knows it too.
That matters, like deeply on psychological level. It does matter, because for men, like let's say you had like 50 women slept with, nothing gonna change with like in your mental health.
Right.
If women slept with 50 men, it's gonna be like problematic in the future.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, it's
scientifically
hurting.
proven
It's
too.
hurting mental health, and it's proven. Yeah.
Right. I always talk about this study on this podcast where it came out with data after surveying, thousands of women, and it came to the conclusion that once a woman has a body count of more than 6, her ability to properly pair bond diminishes, I think, by a significant number of like 50%.
Well, really?
Yeah, after the 6th person. And then it only goes down from there. So if you're a woman who has slept with 20, 30 people, once you finally do get a man that you're ready
Yeah.
for, it's much more challenging for her to pair bond with that man.
Yeah, in Eastern Europe, after the third person, they're gonna point fingers at you
Yeah.
and call you whore.
Right.
Yeah.
See, and here's the thing too. Even in the US, people still think that. They just won't openly speak on it, right?
Or
It's an interesting dilemma. Like, you get a group of girls together and they start fighting. First thing they'll say to a girl they're mad at is, "You're a whore, you're a slut, you fucked those guys," right? But then online they're like, "Hey, body count doesn't matter." But it all comes back to
Yeah, it
reality
matters.
eventually, right? Men do not respect a woman who is freely giving
Yeah.
herself out everywhere.
Yeah, and then they complain about, oh my God, men do not commit to me. And like, what is the reason though?
Yeah,
Like,
you see, women here in America love to complain about men not committing, men not
yeah.
wanting to be traditional. And I've had these complaints too, because I've had, women that I've dated where they're past, like, I liked them, I respected them, I
Yeah.
had deep feelings for them, but they weren't traditional in their past, and it made me not want to
Yeah.
be traditional with them.
I always trying to put myself in the man's shoes. Well, okay, I'm a man, and I make out my own money. What is going to make me want to pay for her for the rest of my life, probably? Like, what is going to make me want to like even live with her and trust my life? And like be with her all the time, and then I see like super vulgar women, and I'm like, me as a man, I wouldn't want that. Maybe for like some fun, but that would be it. Like I would not commit to them. And then I was like, okay, I see what you guys mean when you say like you don't want to commit or you want to commit. I know what you mean, wanting traditional way. And I think the society here is being ruined.
It absolutely is. And there's actually a big culture of men. They're called quote unquote passport bros, where they don't date American women. They only go overseas to find like Eastern European women,
Yeah.
non-westernized women, right? Because the values are completely different, like what you're talking about. In Russia, once you sleep past 3, people are going to shame you. I think that needs to come back here because it's going to solve a lot of problems. Because right now, yes, women's mental health is being destroyed because of promiscuity. Men now no longer have to work as hard to be able to get sex, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy for
Oh
guys
my
to
God,
get laid.
$13 for a cocktail and it's all yours. That is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, that is so crazy. I have like I've just like been talking to someone who told me that he goes like next door bar that is like super close to his apartment, gets a drink, and every night gets different girl to go and like upstairs with him, and things happen, and it's just gross.
Yeah. See, I've been with a lot of people myself. Like, if I really wanted to, pretty much every single night of the week, I could have somebody.
Yeah, and then
But I've gotten to the point where I just don't want that anymore. I'm actually like sick of chicks, partly because I work with them, right? But you know, I still date a lot, and I always get females who want to act very promiscuous around me, like, you know, try to dance sexy, sit on my lap, and it's a big turnoff for me.
But are you ready to, like, okay, if like the passport bros and stuff like that, when they go to Eastern Europe, because women have a high expectations there from men. Like, are you gonna meet those needs, or are you ready to try to get into the culture and to do all the stuff that we expect men to do for us? Because it's not one-way thing. It's not like you're only getting things you need from an Eastern European girl. It's all like, it's the teamwork, because you are also need to meet her needs.
Right. See, if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I plan to be the provider, the protector, the leader, do everything traditionally. I absolutely believe in traditional roles within a relationship. Just like everything your husband gives to you, if I'm going to be serious with a woman, I want to be in a position to do that for her, right? But that's where I become selective, because most women, I feel like, aren't deserving of that. Like when I go on a date, take a woman out, I'm going to pay for it regardless, because
Every
I'm a
date
gentleman.
or just first?
Every day.
Okay.
Right? Every time I take a girl out, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to treat her like a lady. I'm going to hold the door open for her. I'm going to carry her bag. I'm going to treat her with the utmost respect, right? But when it comes to the transition of dating, casual sex, to more of a committed, serious type relationship, that's where I'm going to really look into her history and decide for myself. Like, you know, I don't think a woman who has been with several people, who goes to the bars, hooks up,
How are you gonna know?
you know, for free too.
How are you gonna know?
Oh, well, that's another thing. I have a saying, when a woman tells you about her past, you can only believe about 10% of it.
Oh, wow.
So it does take a little bit of time to really figure it out, but it's hard for women to lie to me. Most of the time when women tell me something, like, oh, I've slept with 5 guys, but I'm able to like kind of pick up like, that doesn't seem right, because I've seen you on Snapchat, like at this bar, at this club that's known for girls to go there to go sit at the VIP booth, right? Like, oh, private plane on your Instagram, like you're on a yacht in Dubai. Like, this isn't making sense that you would only have 5.
I have a friend that's been on a yacht in Dubai, and she is like, she has the boob job and she has the lip job and all that stuff, but she's super modest. Like, super modest. If you look at her, she's like, I don't know, like a Dubai model, and you would probably
When you say modesty,
take her for an escort, probably. Like, you would think she's an escort girl.
But you say she dresses modest?
No, but she's super traditional. Like,
oh, so she just doesn't hook up.
she does not, but the way she looks is a little bit too much. Like, it's vulgar.
Right.
But
Yeah, see, the appearance isn't always a true tell sign. Like, I've dated some models who, like, had a lot of implied nudity style shoots on their Instagram, a lot of bikini, lingerie, but have genuinely only slept with a couple of men.
yeah, so like,
So they're out there.
yeah, and I also make some videos about, like, you know, like some videos of mine would be like, hey, I'm a gold digger. Just because I make fun of it, because like people think stereotypically, and I'm like, okay, if you think of me that, I'm gonna give you that. Like, okay, if you think I drink vodka for breakfast, I'll be doing a shot of water, but say it's vodka on my video, in my videos. And I think it's just like when you say that she's on Snapchat, she has a picture on a yacht, but it doesn't like really mean anything. It probably means, but not all the time.
Right. There's always exceptions to the rule, right? But in life in general, you kind of have to identify a baseline, and you got to, you know, follow the rules from there. So typically speaking, if a woman has a lot of travel photos on her Instagram, most women aren't paying for all of their travel, though. There's exceptions, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time, especially if you're a young hot, like 20, 21, 22-year-old girl, and you're going to all these crazy places, like you're in the Soho club with your fancy dinner, 100% a guy is taking you there.
And true. Yeah, women do not want to pay for their fancy things. That's
Right.
true. They probably have somebody behind the camera.
Yeah, see, there'll always be some girl out there on the internet who likes to argue with me. Like, I paid for my trip to Aspen. It's like, okay, you paid for your trip to Aspen, but all those hundreds of other girls out there partying in their bikinis on the slopes didn't.
Yeah. And actually, like, you're right on this one because I think, well, I wouldn't go there. Like, this is not something I would want to do. I don't like nightclubs. I think, like, there has to be a reason to go to that kind of places.
Mm-hmm.
But to find rich men, I don't think rich men party in that, like, kind of crowd things and where it all goes to, like, super dirty. I think there must be a reason for easy one night stand. It's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for that reason or something else. Because what else would you go to these kind of places? Yachts, parties, bikinis.
Well, here's the
What's the
thing is
reason?
men typically hold the wealth, hold the money, and
Yeah.
provide the fun, the travel, right? Men want to get laid.
Oh
So they
yeah.
do all of this. They spend all of this money. Like very wealthy clients of mine, men who are billionaires, have all this money. They pay me for my services because I help bring all the hot girls to their parties and their
Oh
events.
okay. They do the parties
Just
like that sometimes.
yeah, just for the chance, like the hope that they can meet someone to get laid. Right.
Oh
So,
okay.
and that's like with everything, a guy
Yeah.
pays for a trip, brings a bunch of girls. He's doing that not because he doesn't want to have sex with anybody.
Yeah.
He wants to put himself in a position where a girl's down to hook up with him.
Yeah. I don't think Donald Trump met his wife on one of these parties.
I'm sure he did.
I don't think so.
That's the way a
But
lot of
there are like,
billionaires work.
but I think like there are like parties, and women are to party with, and there are women to marry too.
Right. See, I'm not attracted to a woman who likes to party.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a girl who likes to go to all the raves, the music festivals, you're in the club every weekend, I'm not attracted to you whatsoever. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I might have sex with you or we might casually date, but I'm never going to take you
Never?
seriously. No,
Never?
never. No.
What if there is an exception, like if she is like super cool and nice, and this is her first time going to Burning Man or Coachella, and first time taking drugs.
if it, so yeah, drugs is another thing that
Yeah.
I'm totally not down for. Like,
Same.
I've not taken drugs my entire life. Like, I've smoked marijuana one time, and the only reason why I did is because I spent a decade of my life in the military,
Yeah.
and I never tried any substances in the military. So once I was out, I'm like, okay, let's see what the hype is.
Yeah.
Get high, and I'm sitting there high, and I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh yeah, I think the
This
same thing. I don't
this is
like
such
it.
a waste. Like,
Yeah, it just like slows you down. You can't think.
yeah,
I
so
know.
if I have a girl who wants to go do recreational drugs, get high, go dance, just have fun in a like I don't think it's a tasteful way,
Yeah, there
right?
is another
I'm not
thing about
attracted
this
to
in
it.
Europe. We don't do that. Like there is also like we judge those people who do drugs. We judge those people who even smoke marijuana. We don't want to interact with them at all. We're just trying to keep distance, and we don't like the smell of it. There are some people, of course, but the majority is against.
Yeah, see, I think that's a good thing to have society be judgmental on those types of activities because it puts societal pressure on the individual to essentially behave well.
Yeah.
And here in America, there's no societal pressure
They're
whatsoever.
open-minded, yeah.
Like, I've literally heard girls have conversations with each other like, yeah, I just dumped my ex-boyfriend like last
Yeah.
week, and I hooked up with his best friend to get him back. And
Sounds
then
so
their
corny.
girlfriends will support it, be like, oh yeah, you go girl, you keep doing that. Yeah,
Sounds
rack
silly.
up your body count, show him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like, God, like, these girls, ridiculous.
Yeah, I could hear the stories like when I'm being in line to get some groceries and stuff like that, and I get surprised sometimes. I turn my head and I'm like, wow, like that in the public.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have like any awareness. You just don't respect other people. I don't want to hear that, to be honest. That's
Yeah,
pure.
there's just no shame.
Yeah.
And I think it's incredibly distasteful. It's like everybody knows a man who gets a lot of women is praised in society because it's hard for men to get one woman, right? It's
Not
extremely
anymore.
hard.
Not here.
Well, not so much
Yeah.
now with the open sex culture, right?
Yeah.
But even still, as easy as it is nowadays for men, it's still much harder than it is for women. Like your average man is probably only going to get sex maybe twice a year if he's lucky and puts a lot of effort into it, or if he completely lowers his standards, that might help too. But you could be the most average looking woman and multiple times a day, 24/7, have access to any guy you want. Like all you have to do is respond to your DMs and guys will be lining up at your door. So that's why
Makes sense.
it is a huge indicator to me on a woman's value if she is letting everybody sleep with her, because it's easy. You know, nothing in life worthwhile comes easy.
Do you have Tinder or like those kind of apps, like dating apps?
Do I?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No.
I use
But there is, I
Instagram.
think, about those like women putting themselves on the dating apps, and honestly, I just was curious if you have one just to see how do they look.
Oh, I
it's,
used to have
super easy.
Tinder. I used to have Hinge, Bumble. I actually was able to hack the algorithm on Hinge. At one point, I kind of got into the algorithm on Tinder, but it wasn't as great. But on Hinge, I got to the top of like the most desired list. So it only showed me like the 9s and 10s on Hinge, which was really cool. But for the average user's experience, you're not getting shown all the hotties, and the hotties aren't getting shown you.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost, I don't know, in my opinion, waste of time. I think as a man, the best way for you to attract, like, you know, the women in general, not like high value women too, yeah, of course, but you need to work on yourself. You need to be fit, successful, charismatic. You need to be able to take care of a woman's heart properly.
Yeah.
And women will fall into your lap at that point.
What do you expect women to be like? What does women need to be like so as successful men would just be attracted to her?
Well, I want a girl who is confident yet humble. One who doesn't have a lot of experience, one who is willing to submit to me, and then one who doesn't have a high body count is going to be key. I don't want a woman who has had a bunch of casual hookups in her past, because that tells me a lot about how she views herself. So if you're going to be in a relationship with a woman who doesn't respect herself, she's going to have a very hard time respecting you, which I think is the most important thing in a relationship is respect. Mostly respect from the woman to the man, because a woman could love the man that they're with, but if she doesn't respect that man, she's going to cheat, she's going to leave, and in some cases, she'll walk away trying to ruin their life.
I just wonder, like, why would a woman want to stay with the same man but cheat on him? Why just like not leaving? Just like, why don't you just leave the person you don't want to sleep with and go like find someone else? Why staying in the relationship with that person and still doing other stuff on the side?
Yeah, I think some women have like a possessive nature towards them. And you could probably look in their past too, see what their sexual history is like. Women that I've known who have like cheated in their relationships and do seek other men, they're with a guy that they don't respect, for one. It's kind of like a placeholder boyfriend. Like they don't really see anything long term. Even when it comes to marriages, like again, people don't value marriage in this country anymore. So women, they'll get married, but they're not getting married for the purpose of marriage, right? They're getting married so they could go put on the white dress, take a bunch of photos on their Instagram, show off to all their other single girlfriends, like, hey, look what I got my man to do. And basically they're just embarrassing and cucking the man on Instagram while they're off in the nightclub having their girls' nights, getting hit on. And even the ones who don't physically cheat, they're still going out and enjoying that attention from other men, pretending to be single for a night.
Yeah, what do you think has ruined the society here in the western part of this planet? Social media, government, feminism?
It all...
Like what?
It all factors in. So obviously the laws here in America when it comes to divorce, separation, child support, spousal support, custody, it's all designed to be against men, right?
What's the purpose? Like why?
Oh, I believe the purpose behind it is money. A lot of money is made in the divorce system. So the government makes a lot of money thus incentivizing them to push through divorces. And lawyers make a lot of money. So it's a whole industry, it's money circulating around, right? Like both parties got to hire lawyers. The judges got to get paid, the staff got to get paid. Like you look at a courtroom and it's millions of dollars invested in there. They have like the
Yeah.
oak walls, the marble floors, and that all comes from people suffering. And then incentivizing women in particular to file for divorce is a recipe for disaster. Social media definitely plays an aspect into it because people are being influenced by what they see online. A lot of like open sexuality, promiscuity is praised online. You have A-list music artists, females in particular, like dancing slutty, twerking, saying, oh yeah, suck multiple dick, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is in the music.
Yeah, I don't listen to that music, but I don't know. I've heard it.
Yeah, so it's a combination of factors, but overall, I think the biggest thing is the breakdown of the nuclear family, where there is not a there's God isn't involved
No,
anymore
no.
in the nuclear
God
family.
now, I heard that like recently, even in December, I think the Vatican accepted same-sex couples or something like
Oh,
that.
interesting.
Yeah, it's about the religion now. So I just know God is not involved in relationship between men and women anymore. That's true. I think this is like, that's why I want to leave the United States, to be honest. I just like, seriously, I'm so tired of such a propaganda here. They normalize things that aren't normal. This is even like my friends, some of my friends that are Eastern Europeans and been single for a long time. I can see why, because they have been influenced, then don't share the same values anymore. They're being ruined, and I don't even have any more like topics to talk about with them because everything I hear is all by myself, all on my own. I want to do this, I want to do that, and I don't need man, but I need man to do this and that for me. And I'm like, oh my god, that like you want just to receive things, you don't want to give anything, and you're just like so confused. It's a big confusion here, and I don't know. I'm so tired of it, to be honest. And there are so many factors that the society here is I don't know, ruined.
Yeah.
One more
What
time.
are your opinions on female promiscuity?
What is promiscuity? It's like them like wanting to have like
Yeah,
that. Okay,
hookups,
okay,
sex.
okay. I think this is bad. I think it's not about having so many partners in your life. Life is not about that. You can find a lot of different things to do and make yourself happy. Because if you're going to like to have that kind of life that is dirty, deep inside yourself, you're gonna be so depressed. Seriously, you're gonna like little by little destroy your inner self, and then like later at night, probably when they're alone, they probably cannot be alone with themselves anymore. That's why they need other men to just like feel this emptiness. It's better if you feel
Yeah,
yourself
I've
with.
actually heard girls talk about that.
Yeah,
Like,
why though?
girls will justify random hookups, like, well, it helps with the loneliness once in a while.
Yeah, but like it's unhealthy because you should be feeling okay with yourself. You should love yourself and you should enjoy time with yourself. That's the thing. Because when you do not, then you go and hook up with other men. Just like you trying them to fill yourself with what? I don't know. I think you should have some hobbies. You should probably read something. You should like better like come on like put on some Desperate Housewives TV show. This is even better than to go and like waste yourself and like give your energy to every single person that you don't have for yourself anymore. Find a new recipe, bake a cake. It's fun. Go to the beach, get tent, learn something to do, go shopping, and at the end of the day, you get tired, you go to sleep, you rest, you wake up in the morning, you look beautiful, you don't have darker circles, you don't look like there are like so many men used to you the last night, and you look really bad, and then you have to recover from your hangover, and then it takes your ages, you don't look good anymore. It's just like whole circle that is never ending. Better to love yourself. It's Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it starts with self-love.
Yeah, I agree with that. Self-love and self-respect is
Yeah.
where it's at. Final question for you. Women who have not lived traditionally in their past, so the ones who have gone out and partied, multiple hookups, never took relationships seriously, eventually they all get to a point where they say, I want to settle down with one man and I want him to be the protector, the provider, all these traditional traits within a
Yeah.
man, right? Yet they come from an extremely non-traditional background
I
themselves.
got tired. Yeah.
Do you think they are deserving to have all of those traditional values from a man when they haven't been traditional?
Everyone deserves a chance, and it's gonna be really hard because from one type of life you're switching to the complete opposite. It's gonna take a while, and they will need a man that will be super patient, because when you're switching your habits like this, you're gonna be still having problems, or like you will still miss your past life. You will want to come back to the parties. Probably you will. I don't know. You need to change yourself completely, and it takes a long, long time. I think it might happen. They can change themselves, but they need to really want it, like really, really want it. And they need a partner that will understand that there was a past like that. It's going to be super difficult. And if they go through it together, maybe they have kids in the future and stuff like that, maybe it will help. And the one thing that kind of girl should completely change her environment and the girls she's talking to, like, be friends with moms. Be friends with girls that go to church.
Yeah, don't be friends with the girls who
Yeah.
encourage you to
Like,
go do
completely
unhealthy
change
things.
all the
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, that's actually something that's very common, I've seen, at least in our culture, is influence from friends and family. And it's usually more so on the women's side, because men typically don't complain very much, right? Women like to complain more. So they'll go complain about certain things they dislike in their relationship to their single friends or their family members who aren't a big fan of the person that they're with. And they always get negative
Yeah.
feedback. Like their single friends will be like, oh yeah, screw that guy, like you should leave him, like
Yeah.
you come live with me and
Yeah.
we'll go out, do girls night, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and who is saying that? The one that doesn't have anything, that is not settled at all. She doesn't have family, she doesn't have boyfriend, and she's so scared for you to get something faster, to get a boyfriend, to get a man that will like be taking care of you. Yeah, those kind of girls will always try to just like damage it, like just to ruin it for you without even like starting.
Yeah, see, I've had girls
Yeah.
that I've dated,
Yeah.
like say things to me like, "Hey, I was talking to Jessica about our argument last night, and she was saying that you're a narcissist," and I'm like, Jessica, well, that's the chick who got cheated on like 20 times by her ex-boyfriend, was abused, and she literally
Yeah.
hates men. Of course, she's going to think anybody's
Is she a
narcissistic.
therapist, or she can diagnose people?
Right.
Narcissism.
That's another thing too. Women love to call their ex-boyfriends and ex-husbands narcissists, but in reality, it's
Everyone is
like
narcissist.
0.001% of the population who's
Everyone
actually
is.
diagnosed with narcissistic
Yeah.
personality disorder. That's like the key thing there. Everyone has some type of self-narcissism.
Yeah, everyone is. Like, you have self-love. Like, I like see myself in the mirror and brush my hair. This is a type of narcissism as well.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's
Putting
normal.
on the nice suit, making sure I have the pocket
There you
square.
go.
It's a form of narcissism.
Is it bad?
But to
No, it's
actually
okay.
be a certified narcissist where you're a
Yeah.
bad person is extremely rare.
When you
People need to
enjoy
stop
other people
labeling.
being in pain, yeah, this is like another thing. But there are
Yeah.
types, and oh, okay, you got called narcissism from Jessica that is not really successful with her relationship, that cannot fix her own problem, but she has like some knowledge in other people's life.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely. Well, it sounds like Russia and Eastern Europe is doing a lot of things right. I feel like it's a very interesting dynamic you guys have going on there, that
We
society pushes for those traditional
we
values.
have our own flaws, but we prefer not to talk about it. And another saying that we have, a saying that you do not take out fights out of your house. Keep it inside.
Yeah,
You just
100%.
don't tell to your friends or whoever. You fix it in the house. That's
Yeah.
it. And
Outside influence is probably the number one most devastating thing that could happen in a relationship.
yeah, I really want to stick with my culture. I came here, I had bigger expectations, and I was thinking it's all like in the movies. I came here, I honestly, I don't want to like say a lot of like hateful things about the US. It's nice to make money here, have a lot of opportunities. It's a freedom here. It's like, what kind of freedom? It's a kind of freedom here. It's a lot of cool things, but deep inside I'm being sad just because I see a lot of things that I do not agree with, and I just want to stick with my culture and just like have my mindset the way I have it. Here I see like people, a lot of people even thinking suicidal. It's a big number of suicides here. I think I see the reason why. It's also like all the influence and all the bad stuff, the society, and I just like the West Eastern way better, to be honest, when it comes to man-women roles, all that stuff.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, America has a lot of fixing to do. But I think it's been incredible having you on the show. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
coming
having
on,
me.
bringing in your input and your insights. It's been very interesting. Where can they find you?
Tati from LA. I'm gonna tell them right. I am Tati from LA, Tati from LA on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. It's not that developed yet, but would be nice if you subscribed.
Yeah, give her a subscription, give her a follow, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you
And
very
thank
much.
you guys for tuning in. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please be sure to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.